When we hear the word radiation, it's tempting to picture huge explosions and frightening mutations. But that's not the full story. Radiation also applies to rainbows and a doctor examining an X-ray. So what is radiation really, and how much should we worry about its effects? The answer begins with understanding that the word radiation describes two very different scientific phenomena: electromagnetic radiation and nuclear radiation. Electromagnetic radiation is pure energy consisting of interacting electrical and magnetic waves oscillating through space. As these waves oscillate faster, they scale up in energy. At the lower end of the spectrum, there's radio, infrared, and visible light. At the higher end are ultraviolet, X-ray, and gamma rays. Modern society is shaped by sending and detecting electromagnetic radiation. We might download an email to our phone via radio waves to open an image of an X-ray print, which we can see because our screen emits visible light. Nuclear radiation, on the other hand, originates in the atomic nucleus, where protons repel each other due to their mutually positive charges. A phenomenon known as the strong nuclear force struggles to overcome this repulsion and keep the nucleus intact. However, some combinations of protons and neutrons, known as isotopes, remain unstable or radioactive. They will randomly eject matter and/or energy known as nuclear radiation to achieve greater stability. Nuclear radiation comes from natural sources like radon, a gas which seeps up from the ground. We also refine naturally occurring radioactive ores to fuel nuclear power plants. Even bananas contain trace amounts of a radioactive potassium isotope.
What are the main risks? Every electrically operated object emits radiation. Your phone, laptop, 3G, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, and even your induction stove. Just because the radiation is invisible, it's still there.
The microwave oven, the mobile phone, the cordless phone, the Wi-Fi monitor, the baby monitor, they all use the same frequency, but they differ in power of the frequencies used. They also differ because mobile phones and Wi-Fi devices emit pulsed microwave radiation. It is the pulse, not just the power, that appears to be biologically important. Am I saying you need to do away with all useful technology? Or even just cell phones and Wi-Fi? Certainly not. But I'm saying that you and your family would benefit from educated measure and reduce your exposure to the radiation these technological developments expose you to.
The protection guidelines we have at the moment would protect you from any risks that we have established. But whether, for example, you should recommend unlimited use by children, that's a completely other issue. And I think even without strong scientific evidence, you should apply common sense here and say, it's a technology that we have not fully understood. It's a technology that you hold directly to the body. So we need more work on this.
I started training in 1960 at the Royal Navy's Microwave Training School. And it was my specialism throughout the Royal Navy was looking at all aspects of microwave warfare. By the 60s, it was mostly understood. Some of the experiments done during the Cold War, that the scientists found that they could cause severe psychiatric problems by changing the pulse frequency. Imagine you are jumping on a trampoline at your own bounce level. And imagine I weigh 56 stone and I jump on the trampoline and bounce at my rhythm. You will be forced to bounce at my rhythm. That is called entrainment. And that is what goes on when microwaves go into your brain. They change your own brain waves because they are bigger and heavier. Now, depending on the pulse frequency and the power, can affect the heart's pulse rate, how the eye sees, how you hear, bad behavior, It can stop their ability to learn, how your brain will operate. All of these can be done and they can fool doctors. With that, microwaves played a very big part in getting information during the Cold War.
It was reported today that the State Department has sent a doctor to the U.S. Embassy in Moscow to see if Russian radioactive waves have caused 3 people to fall ill.
If you beam microwaves at the window, my talking vibrates the glass and the microwaves rebound back, and if you pick those up, you can understand what is being said. So the Russians microwaved the American embassy to see what secrets they were talking about. But at the same time, as the microwaves were reflecting so the Russians could hear, they were also going through, and within 18 months they found that the children had leukemia, the women had breast cancers, some of the men had cancers, and virtually the whole staff had to be changed.
Tonight we have the first report of a death among American embassy employees in Moscow who were exposed to Soviet microwaves. A secretary who worked in the embassy between 1960 and 62 developed a mole on her face that later became cancerous. She died in 1968.
What I realized was that some of the pulses used by the communications industry are exactly the same as the pulses which are used for microwave warfare.
It's not the temperature that is a problem, it's the effects of the electromagnetic waves on our system, on our cells, and the immune system and everything.
We are not a health product and we don't claim to be one. We are a strong team collaborating with scientists and engineers who worked for years to find solutions for this invisible risk. They spent enormous amounts of time and hundreds of thousands of dollars on research and development. So we teamed up with them. And we found that most products on the market which promise protection from EMF radiation are not doing enough, or they actually increase radiation rather than decrease it. How do we know? Because we measured it. Every household and environment could be measured, but more precise equipment costs around $50,000. Based on this technology and our learnings, we created an easy-to-use yet effective product, and the result is Einstein Brain Card. A product that's simple, light and easy to use and successfully absorb EMF radiation. You can keep it with your phone and it won't block its signal. The design also allows you to keep it in your pocket or purse. Einstein Brain Card is simple because it doesn't require any cables, charging, electrical grounding or constant replacements. It works by absorbing invisible EMF radiation and partially converting it to light heat. While the card is with you, it will both remind you and show people that you're conscious about technology, your environment and others. At Einstein Brain, we are launching a global campaign with the card, and we are proud to present it first to the Indiegogo community. Our production and distribution network is ready to go global, and we will complete every order regardless of the outcome of the campaign. That's our promise to you. We are happy it will be a huge help to many people in the world. Order our EMF protection card today and share our mission with others. Intellectuals solve problems. Geniuses prevent them. Albert Einstein.